people stopped paying attention to the Green Bay Packers way too quickly. This is still the best team in the NFC. Before the year, everyone was all about the Packers because they made the trade for Micah Parsons. People understand the weapons on the offense. I think people understand that Matt LaFleur is an extremely good coach. Right? I don't know if I call him a great one, but he's an extremely good football coach who has everything he needs. Like, they have a good offensive line. A B-plus quarterback is probably what I'd put Jordan Love at, with a lot of good weapons around him. And as I said already, a good coach and a very good defense. A defense that was really good last year. The issue last year was they didn't have a premier pass rusher. Their leading sack getter last year had like 7.5 sacks. And now you bring in Micah Parsons, who's going to elevate everyone around him because you have to double that dude. And he's still going to win sometimes because he's Micah freaking Parsons. That's just the very simple reality of it. They're 3-1-1, but when I look around the NFC, this is the most complete team. This is the most complete team in the NFC. The Eagles are going through it right now. You know, they've lost two games in a row. They can't complete a pass over more than 8 yards down the field. Like, they've got their issues. The Lions lost last night. They're 4-2, still a very good team, but they're dealing with a ton of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Again, kind of feels a lot like last year, which, sorry, Lions fans, I don't want to remind you of last year. The Vikings, when J.J. McCarthy comes back, how are they going to look? Like, the dude's only played 2 good quarters. That's really it. The Buccaneers are awesome. They're 5-1. Baker Mayfield should be the MVP as of right now. But they've just got so many injuries. Like, if they played the Packers today, I'm going to take the Packers just because of all those injuries, even though I do love Baker Mayfield. And then you get out to the NFC West, and the 49ers are 4-2, but they've got everybody hurt. I mean, like Christian McCaffrey, the guy who gets hurt the most, is like the only guy healthy for them. Him and Trent Williams, who's 37, 38 years old. So injuries for him are probably going to show up at some point because guys that are 38 and playing the NFL usually get hurt. The Seahawks, 4-2. That's a really good football team. Love watching them play. With that being said, I like the Green Bay Packers offense and their weapons more than I like Seattle's. So I would take the Packers. The Rams, 4-2. Love the Rams. I do have questions about the back end of their defense, though. I think they need to be a little bit better at corner. When you have a front seven as nasty as theirs, though, you can cover up for some of those mistakes, but I still have questions about that. When I look at the Packers roster, I don't have very many questions. They can get after the passer. They can create big plays on offense. I like their corners. It's a very complete football team. I think they're the most complete and the best team in the NFC. They can run the football with Josh Jacobs. They ran for 155 yards against the Bengals. Before that game, they were 12th in the NFL in rushing yards per game. The offense is incredibly balanced. Jordan Love's playing well to start the year. They have the third best red zone offense in football. They score a touchdown on like 73% of their red zone opportunities. So they're super efficient in the red zone. Their defense is nasty. I don't think I have to explain that to anybody. I'm blanking on their defensive coordinator's name. He was previously the head coach at Boston College. That dude knows how to scheme it up on defense, man. And I really like their personnel as well. So the Packers, do not forget about them. I get it. They play in small little Green Bay, but this is still the best football team in the NFC. The Giants are fun right now. Like there's several bigger markets that are really fun to watch right now. Don't let that distract you from a team that's probably going to win the NFC and is probably going to have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl this year. That is how good this football team is, right? They had a couple weird weeks where they lost to the Broncos and they tied with the Cowboys. I get it. But every team in the NFL is going to have a couple weird weeks. The Chiefs started 0-2 for crying out loud. Right? Like, teams have weird weeks and weird games, and they're going to lose or tie in those games. Don't let that distract you from the things that we know. We know that this Packers roster is incredibly good and as complete as any other roster in the NFL. Do not forget about them. That is the best team in the NFC through the first 6 weeks of the season. And if I had to put my money on it today, they're going to win the NFC. I said it before the year started, and I'm saying it now. I still very much believe in this football team, and you should as well.